I saw it too. Batista returns. WWE. Ric Flair's birthday. One of the best. What's the biggest surprise? Dave Batista returning. Congratulations to Roman Reigns. Or the fact that Raw was actually really good. It's been a good day, hasn't it? Sorry, I would have done this sooner. But Batista has returned, everybody. Dave Batista has returned. Dave Batista. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that doing Batista versus Triple H at WrestleMania 35, in my humble opinion, is a win-win situation. But before I go on to why that is, just one thing I want to say. Two things I want to say. Number one, is it just me, but everyone thought that with Ric Flair's birthday, we were going to get an angle with Becky Lynch. We all thought that Charlotte would be there. It's natural. She's his daughter. Becky comes out, spoils the party. That's what everybody thought was going to happen, or the majority of people thought was going to happen. Becky Lynch comes out, interferes in the Ric Flair birthday celebration. It goes down, and the Becky angle picks up even more. What I loved about that is that we got a completely different shift in what happened. Instead of getting Becky Lynch, which we all, to an extent, presumed, we got Big Dave Batista dragging a cameraman and a back and mumbling. And it's not just me, right? When he comes out in that attire, with listen, these are in honor of Dave Batista. These brightly coloured, these brightly coloured sunglasses that he wears and these elaborate outfits. It's not just me. It's like Jeff Goldblum meets protein shakes and the gym. It's like this weird combination of all three whenever I see him these days. He's gone very Hollywood, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but he's got a bit of a Jeff Goldblum vibe about him when he dresses. Kyle, you can attest to this. So it's a good thing. It was a nice surprise. It was a great surprise, actually. So Batista comes out. Now he's a heel, which is even better. And why do I think it's a win-win situation? Well, first things first. He's coming in as a heel. Dave is an entertaining heel. I think he's a great heel. I feel like the last time he came back, he should have been a heel, but they tried to make him a babyface. He should have been the final obstacle for Daniel Bryan from the get-go. That should have been it. But they made him babyface. He actually is a good babyface, but he's more of a natural heel. Especially, listen, his wardrobe can attest to that, right? Oh yeah, I mean, those polo shirts and those sweet scarves. He's a great heel. He is a great heel. And it was great. And also why I think it's a win-win situation too is because it gets rid of the one thing that we constantly say every year around this time of year. That is this. Part-timer comes back. Insert any name you want. Is used for the road to WrestleMania. Put in there with a full-timer. Part-timer wins. Full-timer gets nothing. And everybody says, what about the person that's there the next day? What about the full-timer? Why are they losing? What's going to happen? This happened a lot with Brock Lesnar. Instead, you have two guys that are already established, already big stars, and that can kind of be the special attraction, celebrity wing match, if you will, for WrestleMania, and it doesn't hurt your full-time roster one iota. And I think it's great. And I actually applaud WWE for doing that. And I think it should be a good matchup to watch. Let's just hope that Mania doesn't go too long, because that could hurt it. But I think that is a win-win situation, because, again, you're not taking anything away from the full-time roster other than a WrestleMania spot. But I don't think that hurts anyone in particular. I just think I'd rather they do that than the other thing, because it just sets up this massive argument. And I think that's a lot of the reason why there are, fans that resent Brock Lesnar and resent, Dave Batista and a lot of other guys that have come back. And now you kind of get rid of that argument altogether. It is a bit weird, though, because Hunter has he has been a heel in the Becky Lynch angle, and Stephanie has been a heel in the Becky Lynch angle. And I'm telling you right now, they're doing Becky versus Stephanie this year or next year, but I tell you right now, they are doing that. And then to see him as a babyface in the next segment, it's a bit of a weird one to see here, but I do like this angle. I think it's great. They teased it, for crying out loud, back in the was it the SmackDown anniversary show? Dave was on fire that night. Very good promo. He looked to be energized by everything that was going on in one of his many fabulous little outfits, and he took a subtle shot at Triple H, didn't he? And it teased a potential WrestleMania match. Then there was no talk of it for a few months. So I'm quite happy that they're going to do this, and this kind of, in my opinion, adds some weight to the card. Yes, the Becky stuff is very interesting. I'm quite glad that they're going all the way with her. Seth and Brock is alright, could use a bit of work. I don't know how Roman Reigns is going to fit into the picture, but I'm glad to see him back. I mean, real life hits you, and I'm happy to see he's healthy, man. I mean, I'll tell you right now, this one's to you. But they needed something else, like that celebrity wing, and Batista vs Triple H is exactly that. Now, also the fact that they've got a lot of history with their time in Evolution, and then the feud that made Dave Batista a star against Triple H. And obviously I think that one of the main selling points will be is that Triple H never beat him, ever. I don't think. No, he never did. One-on-one, he could never beat him. He beat him at WrestleMania. Batista beat Hunter. He beat him at Backlash. And then he beat him at Vengeance. And that really awesome Hell in a Cell match. He's never been able to beat him. And Dave has wanted to do this program for years. He's been talking about it since like 2014. The other thing I want to say is there's a sense of realism in their rivalry. Because I've always sensed that while they're friends, they're kind of frenemies. And I've always felt there's like a bit of envy between the two. And Dave has said a lot of things, inflammatory things, into the media about WWE at times. Especially, how they thought that the Guardians of the Galaxy film wasn't going to work. And then how they were not returning his calls. And there's been a bit of like back and forth there. And that really adds the feuds where there's a tiny bit of real heat or realism, to me, are the ones that work the most. Like Cena and The Rock, for example, or Hunter and Shawn and Brett. And yes, this has a bit of that to it, because there have been some things that Dave has said, and he can channel very real thoughts, emotions and feelings into his promos. And Hunter's just as snarky as they come. So this, hopefully, in theory and in execution, could lead to some very interesting face-offs between the two. But this, to me, is a win-win situation. I'm looking forward to it. Me being positive about wrestling again. And let me know what you think of this. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know what you feel about this. And is this a one-and-done deal for Dave Batista? Because he's kind of talked about retiring. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. So, let me know what you think. Are you a fan of this match? I know some people may not be. I'd love to know why, actually. That would be interesting. Because I want to know what angle you're coming from. I've told you the angle I'm coming from. Comment down below. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And have a good one, everybody.